Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Business doing an overview of the Konigsberg Tier 5 German cruiser. First things first, thank you everybody. Somehow in less than a month we got another 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube page, and I have no idea how the hell that happened, but thank you again to everybody for your continued support. And I'm going to have a little giveaway on stream on Sunday. I'll, at the end of the video here, or I'll just put it in the description. I'll give you the details about that. But as far as the Konigsberg is concerned, this is an interesting ship. So just taking a look at the stock form here, once you get the FCS upgrade, and I'd probably suggest that first, you combine that with advanced firing training, and holy crap, you can hit almost up to 20 kilometers away. The hull upgrade really mostly improves the AA defense, but it's so mediocre that it's not even worth mentioning. That's the German national flavor. Terrible AA defense all the way through to the Hindenburg. I mean, comparatively speaking to, say, the USN cruisers, and they have excellent AP shells, though, that's for sure. So we'll get to that in a second here. It does have minimal armor protection, by the way. You can use that pretty well. I'll show you that in the clip in just a minute. But as far as the guns are concerned, you can, with basic firing training, you can boost the rate of fire up to 8.9 rounds a minute. The dispersion is actually the highest of the tier 5 ships at 158, and that's with the accuracy upgrade, so that's kind of saying something. But it actually has a really good grouping, so I wouldn't really pay attention to the dispersion at all. The AP damage is actually quite nice at 3,900 per shell maximum damage. The HE is only at 1,700 and a terrible 8% fire chance. It does only have that one singular secondary cannon, so yeah, kind of funny just looking at that alone. But the torps are the same all the way through to the Hindenburg, 60 some knots, 6 kilometer range. That's it, no surprise there. As far as the ship is concerned, in terms of the maneuverability, that's where I actually have the biggest problem with this ship. So it has a decent speed, 32.5 knots. It feels a lot slower than that, though, and especially that rudder shift time. It's the highest of the bunch at tier 5 between the Omaha, Fukutaka, and the Konigsberg. The turning radius is in the middle of the road at 680 meters. The Omaha has 600 and is faster, but it also has a much quicker rudder shift time. And then we get to the Fukutaka, which has the largest of turning circle, but it has a really good speed, of course, and a really solid rudder shift time too. So it's interesting when looking at these three how they feel. The Fukutaka, the Omaha, they feel responsive. The Konigsberg really does not. I mean, it's another 2 seconds of rudder shift, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but it makes it feel like it's actually more like a tier 7, tier 8 cruiser. It's kind of odd. As far as the captain skills are concerned, these are all the general ones I always use, because there's really no point in using much of anything else anymore. Demolition expert could be useful, but again, you're only going from an 8% chance to an 11% chance of fire, but that could be really useful in the end. Preventive maintenance might actually be a great option there too. With the buff, the ship is a little bit more durable. It doesn't get its modules knocked out as frequently, but it still happens quite a lot. You just got to protect the side. Now, as far as these cannons are concerned, this is a Nagato I'm shooting at, and it's 11 kilometers away. I was testing this out, and that's a lot of damage for a tier 5 cruiser at this range to do with these small cannons. This is just normal AP stuff. If you can get a flat shot on a enemy battleship, you can really do some solid damage with AP. I did learn, however, to aim at the secondary cannons on the Nagato, not the belt armor below that. So if you're aiming in that area or slightly above, you'll probably get penetrating damage with this. Now, as far as the armor is concerned, this is me against and this is a live video, by the way, as you could tell by the the hash marks. I was actually trying to see how the impact was on performance when I was actually playing and recording as I actually played instead of going back in for a replay. But these are all bounces. You don't really have to have too much of an angle to bounce an enemy Konigsberg's shots, and this guy did a pretty decent job of preventing me from being able to do more damage to him until this point. And I had been given him my side at this point too. But at the same time, he was shooting HE, I think. So I didn't really take too much damage there compared to what happened to him, of course. Now, there are certain situations where the damage potential of this ship really comes to shine. And I'm going to make not a mistake, but I was expecting a destroyer here, not a cruiser, so I switch over to AP, and check this out. Goodbye. 6 citadels on an enemy Kuma. When this thing is top tier, holy shit, is it deadly. And, you know, there's some really good damage capability with this ship. The cannons, my god, the AP performance is stellar. And I would say this is, I hesitate calling it the most dangerous ship at tier 5, but it's really close. And I am going to be buying the Furitaka again to try that out, and I know, but I didn't do a review on that, and I am going to do one on that and the Colorado at some point in the near future, so watch out for that, right? But no, the AP performance is really impressive. I would say I'm actually more impressed by the AP on this than I am the Omaha, the Mermansk, you know, that sort of thing. It's just consistently surprised me at just how much damage these can actually do. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and place for HE as well. You know, you can definitely do a lot of damage even though you have a minimal chance of fire. This range is hugely important for the harassment factor. And this enemy battleship, for instance, like, I mean, look at the range radius on my ship here on the mini-map. He's right at the edge of it, and I'm harassing the hell out of him. You know, I have a fire started up on him already, and which is actually sort of rare. Again, it's only 8%, but he's had to use his repair, and now I got another fire on him, and you know, he's going to be burning for a bit, or unless, I mean, I don't know, I can't really tell if he's burning right now or not, but this is actually a really crucial factor in cruiser play, is always having these guns firing at targets that are way off. And if you can do it accurately, like you know, I found the right lead on the first salvo, you can really get under people's skin and cause them to make mistakes. And not only that, you can cause them to fixate on you and not realize that they're exposing themselves to you know, more fire, or like a battleship on your team has a better angle at him because he's focused on you and drifting in a way that is going to get him killed. And you know, I just personally think there's a lot to be said for the nuisance of cruisers. And I mean, it's the same thing as you know, a destroyer that you can't spot. You know, there's quite a bit of tactical gameplay and you know, psychological warfare going on in something like that. Now, you do get fault line a lot with this map, and you do actually, I think in all but one instance of playing this map, I've ended up on this side, like on the 9-10 line. It's, for whatever reason, using the Konigsberg, I always ended up over here. But myself, Slap, and Chipster are just messing around at tier 5 here, having some cruiser action going on, of course. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this particular clip, I get a bit of tunnel vision and, you know, kind of lead myself to my own death. So, you know, there are situations where, you know, you really shouldn't play the ship aggressively in a lot of respects. I think you really ought to be supporting or have support of multiple other ships, and I found the most effective way to play this is like a tier 5 Des Moines. And by that I mean hide behind a mountain or an island or whatever the hell, and just lob shells as far as you can against the slowest target, and just annoy the shit out of somebody. And if it comes down to it and you have to do close range action, sub 10 kilometers or something, and say it's an enemy cruiser, I would hope that if you can't kill him on the first salvo, you kill him on the second salvo, because you will not last much longer than that, and the modules will get knocked out, your steering, your turrets, your torpedoes, whatever the hell. This is still a very fragile ship, even after the buff to the incapacitation of the modules, which I think it's like a 50% reduction, and it still happens almost every damn salvo of HE, and obviously with AP too, because, the ship just cannot take a beating. If you're angled properly, sure, that's great, but it's pretty much not going to make a difference against the battleship. Against the same tier or lower cruiser, you're probably going to do pretty well, but not against the battleship. This armor just crumples underneath the big shells like that. And I was really curious. I wanted to see if I could get a couple matches against the Fukutaka to see how it does against, same tier 8-inch shells, with the 203mm cannons. And I don't think I actually ever got that chance to play against the Fukutaka. But, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad with this ship. And for a while I was kind of mixed on whether or not I'd keep it. And I think I'm going to, but, I don't think I'm just going to play it very often, because there's something about the sluggishness of the ship that really, it makes it really difficult for me to get into it, and it just doesn't behave the way I think a ship at this tier that's supposed to be a cruiser, it just doesn't behave and handle the way that I would think it would, and it feels like it's actually more of like a tier 7, tier 8 type of ship in terms of that handling. And I will say, I absolutely love having the torpedo arrangement on the ship, where it's 2 launchers each side, and 6 kilometers is a decent range at this tier. So it's above average. It's not as good as the 10 kilometers you can get on the Fukutaka, of course, but I'll take what I can get at this tier. It's any type of half kilometer or 1 kilometer advantage in terms of range. It can potentially be a huge plus. Now, again, this ship is a mixed bag, in my opinion. I do think it's a good ship, but I do also think it's overrated. But at the same time, you always have to account for personal preference and expectations and so on and so forth. That's why I like the Azumo when hardly anybody else does, and why I really strongly dislike the Ibuki, while, at least a greater portion of people like the Ibuki over the Azumo. Let's be honest about that, shall we? I'm not going to take this ship out over the Murmansk or the Omaha, or who knows, maybe the Fukutaka. I kind of forgot how that shit plays, but it's all just the personal preference, and you never know if you're going to like a ship until you play it, and after researching, grinding towards it. So that's always something that's worthwhile to mention. You can be surprised in how well it performs in a certain way, but you could still be kind of left wanting a little bit more. And that's how this ship is for me. And so to wrap this video up, I just wanted to point out that Kami Samurai, good friend of mine, my division mate, whatever, you see him in pretty much all these videos, he's going to be streaming full-time starting Monday. I do also plan on streaming, even if he is too. We're actually just trying to really build a community here and improve everybody's play along with ours as well, and hopefully be able to answer questions, take some of the guesswork out of the game, and get people focusing on things that can help them improve themselves, and make things more challenging to their opponents, and so on and so forth. But I'll leave a link in the description, of course. And as far as the subscriber giveaway, I do plan on giving away 3 individuals 2,000 gold. If you want to substitute that for the Murmansk, by all means let me know, and I can gift that to you instead. And I just need to make sure we hit a certain level of viewers before I trigger the giveaway. So that's, and I have no idea what to expect now. So whether it's 10 people or 50 people, something's going to happen. So we'll just say that much. But I just want to be able to give back to you guys for your continued support, which I really truly appreciate. And this has blown up far bigger than I possibly could have imagined. So it's a lot of fun for me, and I hope it is for you guys too. But thank you again for the comments and the replays and everything else that you do. And I'll see you back here soon or on Sunday at the stream. So take care, guys.